Mr. Truck here with another exciting truck review. This time it's a 2015 Ford Expedition model, and it has the EcoBoost V6 twin turbo.
Over to Dawn, and she's going to go through some more of our capability items.
Good morning y buenos días.
Morning. Gracias.
De nada. So as David mentioned, I'll talk a little bit about capability. As we mentioned earlier, one of the key features why this customer buys this vehicle is for comfort. So David mentioned the front adjustable pedals, which is one of my favorites, but something else new for this model year is our tilt and telescoping, power tilt and telescoping column. So it'll add another element of comfort. We've actually elevated what comfort is as well, and my other brand new feature, which I'm excited about and I'm anxious to hear your comments on, is continuously controlled damping, or as we call it, CCD. Most of you, many of you may be familiar with it on our Lincoln products. This is a first for Ford. The Expedition will be the only Ford product line that will offer CCD, which is a comfort ride setting. So you will be able to adjust the ride that you want to allow for even a more comfortable ride. We've got 3 selections: normal, comfort, and sport. You'll be able to access this through the toggle on the steering wheel, and we have a small cluster that will, once you scroll through the menu, you can select the modes that you would like to drive. Again, when we're in the switchbacks, I encourage you guys to go through each of the modes. We have very good mode separation, is what we call it, so we're able to differentiate from comfort and sport and normal. I think you'll like it. So anxious to have that, and excited actually to have that in for Ford product. The other thing I want to talk about is towing. Although you guys did towing yesterday, we won't do any towing today. We are BIC for towing in both our 4x2 and 4x4, 9,200 pounds, as well as payload. But besides the number, I want to talk a little bit about the whole drive experience. So as David mentioned, we've got our new EcoBoost engine, 365, 420 horsepower and torque, in that order. You'll be able to feel that torque come in at 2,200 RPM, not only when you're towing, but in an unladen vehicle. If you take a look at our old product, 310 versus 365, big difference in improvement. Even with the new GM product, 355 and 383. If you take a look at their horsepower and torque curves, they bring in their torque around 4,100 RPM, so much further from our 2,200 RPM range. So you'll be able to feel that. That's going to provide an overall comfort, capability, and confidence while you're driving, while you're towing. Other features that we brought in that you may be familiar with from our F-Series is our Select Shift, our 6-speed transmission. So we are able to lock out gears. We have our Progressive Range Select. We also have a manual mode, so you are able to drive this vehicle as you would a manual through the toggle on the shifter. Tow haul mode, standard. The 6-speed Select Shift, that's standard across the board. The other nice feature that we've added, again, as Brian mentioned, we have a lot of customers that tow, is our integrated trailer brake controller. Very popular, same system used on F-Series. Got the sway control already integrated. You don't have to go buy an aftermarket kit. Other things, hill start assist. So when you're on a grade, you've got a heavy load, towing, you can pull your foot off the brake and you won't have any rollback. Nice feature, again, for confidence, overall comfort in driving experience. Another nice new feature hill descent control. This vehicle may not look it, it's extremely capable. Those of you that are familiar with our Borrego test facility, we actually take this vehicle off-road on the same routes that we do F-Series and Super Duty. So the hill descent control is the same one that we take, we have in Raptor. So it allows you to maneuver steep terrain, rocks at a very low speed. We won't do that today, but it's another nice feature. Again, with this lifestyle customer, they take their vehicle to remote cabins. There's rocks, logs, they can easily maneuver over those. And also, we have a mechanical load leveling system. So if you have a heavy payload or a trailer, this self-contained mechanical device will load, will self-adjust to proper ride height, so the rear end of the vehicle is never sitting low, it's always flat. Another last item on the CCD, some of you may wonder how it works. It takes, we've got 46 different inputs that update every 2 milliseconds, so 500 times a second data is updated. So as you enter a pothole or the vehicle is in jounce or rebound, it reacts very quickly. That's the key enabler to help give us that ride in mode separation.
As David and Dawn mentioned, we made a lot of improvements in regards to capability and also technology. So naturally we would want to make improvements in regards to both interior and exterior styling as well. What customers really love about the Expedition is the fact that through time it continues to give them the overall look and feel of a traditional utility vehicle. So we didn't want to really shy away from that on the 15 model Expedition. But what we did want to do was really improve those enhancements to really improve that overall traditional look and feel. And we did that really by focusing in on our series differentiation. All right, so for Expedition this year, we'll have 4 retail series that we'll be going to market with. We have an XLT, we have the Limited, we have the King Ranch that's newly refreshed, and all new for this year, we'll offer the Platinum Series. As you know, and as Brian mentioned before, Platinum Series is synonymous with our F-Series trucks, and it's done very well. So in this segment, as customers are demanding more high-end content and more high-end amenities, it was basically a natural hand-in-glove fit by offering them a very successful Platinum Series from F-Series into Expedition.
I'll help you get out of here if you're ready to go.
I don't care.
Now, what did you say you had that one Expedition loaded up to how much?
Oh, I don't know. I want to put that on
Was it
camera.
that? You're the towing guy, but we needed your help. And what's your name, sir?
Keith Weston.
Keith Weston? Okay, you own a series of hotels, don't you?
No, they spelled their name wrong.
Oh, okay. Well, you're the right guy because we're going to ask a lot of trader questions.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So we're riding this new 2015. Is there an embargo on this story?
No, there isn't.
Not at all. I guess I was daydreaming part of the time here.
So in all your calibrating, what are you calibrating? Are you doing what do you need to do? Oh, by the way,
for
around
my team, we tune straight ahead there. Straight ahead. We tune the chassis, so springs, dampers, stabilizer bars. We tune the CCD system, all the chassis-related bushings, the kinematics, the compliance associated with the chassis system. So we do all of that work.
Now, the CCD, that's the damping. Is that just shocks? Do you have air ride? What's on back there that always levels on your trailer?
So let me just go follow that minivan right there. So what it is, so the CCD is actually independent of the load leveling. You don't actually get both at the same time. You can either have CCD or load leveling.
Okay.
The load leveling, it's the trade name is Nevomat, but it's the rear shock absorbers on the vehicle actually have hydraulic features that pump up. So if the vehicle's pitched rearward, you drive the vehicle, you have to drive the vehicle, and as you're driving it, the road inputs actually create hydraulic pressure and pump those shocks up to accomplish load leveling and get the vehicle level. So when you get CCD, you don't get load leveling because it's a different shock absorber. The CCD shocks are actually a triple tube damper. It's a solenoid bypass that is in the third tube, and that adjusts the damping. So you set the damping of the base disc stack inside the damper, just like a regular twin tube shock absorber. So you tune the high, low, and mid-speed control at the piston, also at the base valve in the twin tube part of the damper, and then there's a triple tube bypass that's controlled by a pulse width modulated solenoid that enables you to have different degrees of control.
Wow, that sounds complicated. That's, you know, I remember when General Motors came out with the magnetic shocks like they talked about in the presentation. That was pretty incredible, following the metal flakes in the oil, whatever that they did to make it change dampen. They did all with magnets and metal and all kinds of crazy stuff.
That worked great.
Yeah, that was quite the technology in its time. So how new is this system?
I don't know whether it's newer than the MR shocks. There are a number of differences. One of the reasons we choose to use the technology we use is because with the MR dampers, if there's a failure of any kind, they fail soft. So if an MR damper fails on the vehicle, and all of these systems have technology, pothole detection technology and stuff like that, and in those situations you want to have control. Also, limit handling situations, if you have to make an evasive maneuver, you want to add control to those shocks. And if the MR system fails, they fail soft. Our system fails hard. So we don't want any of these things to fail, but either has the potential. Other advantages of ours, in our experience at least, we're able to achieve a greater degree of mode separation. So between comfort, normal, and sport, we'll actually have a larger variation in ride control for our customer to choose from. And I've benchmarked the system on the Escalade, which would be competitive with Expedition Navigator, and we have substantially more mode separation than they do.
Well, that's awesome. I almost wish you guys had an off-road course for us to go play on, but
So do I.
You don't have an off-road mode though, right? You have the soft.
For off-road, I would put it in sport.
Sport.
Off-road, you'd want more control, right?
Yeah.
So I'd put it in sport.
Does this have like a skid plate package? I mean, I know you're
That I'm not sure.
Well, the front of that, the flare down below, gosh, I can see hitting something with that easily. I don't know. It's
Yeah.
pretty low.
Yeah, those fuel mileage dampers they use on these things, I think they're all NASCAR cars, and you got to take all that stuff off to ever go anywhere.
Yeah, you're right.
What? That's interesting. Now the CC, whatever the.
CCD,
Yes. And what's the real words for that?
continuously controlled damping.
Continuously controlled dampening. Okay.
Who's your supplier?
Or Hitachi, Takiko.
Who else are they supplying beside your company? Do you know? Or,
That I'm not sure. No.
but the system sounds great. I've never had any problems with the magnetic ride, but you're right. They could fail.
Yeah, we don't expect problems, but we need to protect our customer under all circumstances. So you want to turn right here.
Okay, I can see the Ford sign too. We've seen some of these Ford signs taken away.
Yeah, some people
Like 'em.
to collect them as souvenirs, I think.
Well, yeah. If Ford invades their town, they want to be able to tell people, have proof.
Yeah, this is a lot of truck customers down here too.
Yeah.
Probably putting them up in their garage.
Yeah, you're right. We're selling them on eBay.
Yeah, really.
You know,
That'd
we
be
could
really
check. We could check tomorrow, see if any of them are on eBay.
Probably. Now, since you only offer it on the 20-inch,
22.
I mean the 22s it comes automatically, but otherwise you don't. Can you get it with a smaller wheel, or you cannot?
Not available. That's a marketing decision.
Yes.
It certainly would be compatible with any wheel and tire package.
Yes.
Did you get 22-inch wheels on this, Bruce? Did you find this the right rig?
Yeah.
You're on top of things. This is
Well, I did pretty good because there were 10 of them that had it. So, I mean, we only have 12 vehicles.
And if you want to switch between the different modes, I can.
It's on the left side here.
Yeah, you just hit that left arrow a couple
Okay.
times to get back to the main menu.
Hit this thing right here.
Yes,
Is that the right arrow?
Yep. And then settings.
Okay.
You know, just
Wait. I got to go a little bit further.
down. No.
Oh no, now down. Settings.
Settings.
Okay.
And then
Hit OK.
to the right,
Okay. To the right.
and then the top one, driver selectable suspension.
Okay. Driver selectable suspension.
And hit that there.
And then sport. We want to try.
It's in sport right now, so you can switch to whatever you want.
Oh, we're gonna go fast.
Yeah. Let's hit sport. Okay.
Okay.
If we can't go off road, we gotta go fast.
Okay. Now I've got a manual. Did it take it out of manual, or should I?
No, that's your call. That's whatever
Yeah.
you want.
So this has that progressive shifting where you lock out the top end gears.
Progressive range select. So you can
Progressive range,
lock
yeah.
out any gear you want. Yeah, you can. You just take away whatever gear you don't want it to have.
Okay.
With the toggle button.
Which toggle? This one?
No, the toggle on the shifter.
Oh, okay.
So you just hit the minus arrow and take away whatever gear you don't want it to have.
Yeah, we did that on the big trucks yesterday. And that's interesting you can do it on this because, of course, I guess you want to pull the trailer in the mountains, you can find a use for it.
Yeah, you're not gonna need some of those gears.
Yeah, the chassis display that you guys saw, I towed that down here. So
Oh,
you
yeah,
did.
that's a big cable on that winch. I was wondering what in the world you're going to use that for.
yeah, I didn't load it. They loaded
Oh,
it, but I towed it.
You could have
down
loaded
here.
Abrams' tank with the cable winch they had on it.
Yeah.
My goodness. That's what I really thought you guys were going to have on these orange trailers with some half tracks or some kind of military thing. We did that on some of our tests. We put a half track on it.
Well, that would be cool.
Yeah, you got to have some cool cargo. Bunch of bricks. How creative is that? You could have had
Yeah.
antique Fords on there. You could have put all your antique 3 on a trailer. We could have had a whole show going on.
The way I understand, they got those. Somebody let us use those for free. I'm not sure. who.
Yesterday, those.
The orange ones.
Ah.
So, and I think they loaded them too.
You guys loaded them.
Yeah, I don't.
It's very good in this and the F-150. The larger systems, I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. I've done the 150 and I thought it was very impressive, but the Super Duty, it takes a lot to force that to sway control.
Well,
you
it's-
worked on that project, have you?
So the Super Duty is just so stable, right? It takes a lot of input, but what it is it's the yaw response generated in the vehicle by the trailer. So you have to generate that yaw response. That's why it takes a lot on a Super Duty, because they're just such a capable vehicle. On the lighter duty vehicles, it's a little easier to introduce it, but it depends on your trailer, how your trailer's loaded. If you load the trailer properly, it's going to take a lot more to introduce it too. If you load the trailer improperly, which you're an expert on trailer tow stuff, so you can introduce instability relatively easily. And what it is it just uses the stability control system in the vehicle to counteract that yaw moment. So we can introduce yaw in any dimension using the stability control. We just need to decide how to apply that. And when the trailer introduces that yaw oscillatory resonant yaw response in the vehicle, the stability control system senses that and it applies a counteracting yaw moment using the brakes.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. The earlier 150s were really hard to do it. Actually, you had to get a trailer, with a zero or negative tongue weight, and you had to make a pendulum out of the back of the trailer. They wouldn't let us demonstrate that. I guess they had some truck they had a problem with, and so they wouldn't let us play with it. And then when they introduced it again in, I think, 2010 or somewhere in there, you could just do a high-speed lane change, and you could feel it and pull you straight. It was great. But on a Super Duty, we did down a racetrack with testing a sway control on a trailer, and you had to get really severe. We just talked about that severe, and then the truck would almost lock up. It would stop you very fast, just breaking itself straight. But all warnings would come on the dash. It was kind of a scary situation when it came on the Super Duty. Where the F-150, I could use that quite often, or show people how to use it. But just like you said, that's a difference in the.
All depends
The way
how
the
you
trucks
set
are
up
set
your,
up.
your trailers. I could set one up that would introduce it relatively easily, but I'd never drive it like that on public roads.
Yeah, and then the earlier ones, the way I remember way back when on the 150, it would actually use the integrated brake controller to apply brakes to the trailer. Now I could see that if they thought all traders were the same, but some traders may have wore out brakes, some may be wore out on one side, so you'd have issues trying to control the trailer. But I was in one that did that. It actually applied brakes to the trailer, which I thought was impressive because that's what you would do manually. You'd apply
Sure,
brakes to the trailer.
If there's
straighten
an
it out.
instability with the trailer, absolutely.
Yeah. So it's evolved quite a bit over the years. But yeah, that makes sense that the Super Duty would be totally different than a half-ton. So when is the diesel coming out in the Expedition?
I don't know of any current plans for a diesel.
Oh, so none of the stuff that's coming out in that Transit and the vans and all that is going to...
The Transit van has a diesel for sure.
Right. That's why you're driving, Bruce. You'll get us out of the tough stuff.
Yeah.
I'll get on when the road only goes one place. I'm a good old country boy. We get lost out here now.
Now, what are these controls on the right for? I haven't checked. I see the
That's
volume.
for the right-hand side display.
Yeah.
So whatever's on that display, you can control with those.
Well, that is cool. So many of the displays are in the middle, and you got.
Okay, so I could go like this and set up the right end.
You can hit the audio. It's on audio right now.
Oh, it
You
is?
want to hit the right arrow, or I'm sorry, left arrow,
Uh-huh.
and then you can pick what you want it to be on: entertainment, navigation, or phone.
Let's
You can scroll through those.
Well, that's nice. Instead of having one big.
Oh, I
screen in
see.
the
It's got there, audio off. Or now I can go
Yep. Then you go
go
navigation. if you
down,
want.
navigation.
middle.
Okay.
Yeah, that's something I can understand. If you got left buttons.
And
for
then
left
I got to
and
hit
right buttons.
OK.
You can go back.
Go back.
Yeah.
Shit, I don't get an accent. Okay.
And then phone is the other one.
Which one?
Phone is the last one. We don't have. a phone.
We don't have a phone, so forget that. So I just hit navigation to the right.
You can hit navigation to the right, sure.
Okay, and then it's got a pretty interesting thing. It's got a screen here. I got to watch her. I'll run over to all
Yeah.
these.
So if you had something programmed into the navigation system,
Yeah.
it would come up on that screen.
Nice.
So right now, because you don't, it just has the compass and the speed limit.
All right. Now here, if I want to see what gear I'm in, which one of these things do I push to see that?
Well, that's on the left-hand screen. You see, it says you're in 6th gear.
Yeah. Okay, wait.
So if you wanted to use the
Oh yeah, I see it. The little one. It says 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
yeah, so if you want
All
to
of
take some of those away, you can use the toggle button on the shifter.
No, I mean I like seeing them.
Yeah, it's always good to see what gear you're in, especially
Yeah.
if you're a toner in the mountains. It's nice to know what's going on. It's
I'm gonna put this down to manual or sport again. But right now I'll see how it drives for this. And we still have our sports setting. Now, as you said, this sports setting has nothing to do with the gears right now, but it can sense that we want to be in sports, so it's a little harder.
The sport there is the continuously controlled shocks.
Yeah.
That's what that is.
now. Does this have a tow mode?
There's a tow haul button on the shifter, yeah.
Oh, there is. Okay.
What happens if you use that when you're not towing?
What happened? I mean, nothing. Really,
Yeah, I just was curious.
Changes your shift schedule and things
Okay.
like that that would help you when you were towing or hauling. But you could put it in tow haul and drive it around like that all the time if you wanted to.
So this does grade shift when you're towing?
It will do engine braking. Yeah, what you would do is just apply the brake to tell the vehicle that you're going downhill and you want to try to maintain velocity, and then it will downshift as you're going down the grade to maintain your speed. Yeah.
Oh, good. Look at this. It's a straight road. Only seen 2 of these so far.
Yeah, this is the same damn
Oh, this
road
is that same road.
every day.
Every day.
Yesterday.
And we know about the construction of this road. And we'll see 2 state patrolmen, or 1 at least down below the hill here. Look at these Appalachian mountains. They're all tree covered. Guess you gotta walk through them to see the rocks. There's gotta be some rocks somewhere in these mountains.
There are. I was helping the photographer. I went to the old Fordson mine. Henry Ford did a mine conveyor down the side of a mountain.
Yeah.
So I went and found that for him. Actually,
That's up here, huh?
yeah, I took pictures, brought them back to him, showed him, and he headed up there. And he's got a picture. It was on the cover of media.ford.com yesterday. It can be downloaded, but he was all excited. It's a majestic thing to see. It's not on the GPS. I got it on the second try. The first time I went out with GPS coordinates, it took
Yeah.
me to some White House on the wrong side of 19, about 20 miles away.
Wow.
And the second day I went with a map that I drew because I didn't have a printer, and I found it. It was, but you gotta. It wasn't on the GPS on the car, and it wasn't on the Garmin. So
Well, Henry hit it. You know, it's one of his things.
Henry did hide
Might
it,
be
yeah.
some gold in there.
maybe.
You know, Bill, he'll be back there with his pickaxe looking for that after he sees that picture.
It's possible. If I thought there was, maybe I would have stopped at Home Depot, got a pickaxe myself.
Well, yeah, you gotta get one of those little meters you walk around with that detects it.
Yeah.
Struck your ribs.
So we're going for exit 156 in case I get distracted.
Yeah, that's why Bruce is driving. Cause I get daydreaming and I forget what I'm doing.
It handles like a dream on this road.
Well, this is all rack and pinion, right? Look, it's electric rack and
It
pinion.
is rack and pinion, yeah. It's,
Electric rack and pinion is pretty tight.
The electric assist is a ball screw driven by a brushless DC motor and a belt actually on the steering rack itself.
Yeah. The 150s had that quite a while back, right? Same
So
system.
P415, F150, I think it was 09 model year.
Yeah.
Had that,
Yeah, they've all got them. I'd like to see rack and pinion on the big boys, but Dodge Ram actually has it on the two-wheel drive heavy duty, but not the four-wheel drive. And semis have tried it. Freightliner had it. Kenworth had it. I think they've all gotten away from it again. I don't know if it's just not robust enough, but
On the big trucks, you need a lot of torque to provide the assist. Is the issue.
yeah.
And hydraulics, you can provide a lot of assist, right? So.
Well, rack and pinions, regular rack and pinions hydraulic, isn't it? Doesn't it run a hose through it and runs a four-wheel motor?
Yeah. Conventional hydraulic power assist steering has typically it's a valve that's actuated when the steering wheel torque exceeds a certain amount and
Yeah.
applies the assist
Yeah.
hydraulically. But you can generate a lot of force hydraulically, and to size an electromechanical actuator to provide that assist on a heavy truck, that's going to be a real big actuator.
Yeah.
Can
Well,
be done though. Certainly.
Yeah,
can
they've
be
got
done.
room up there. You'd think they could put whatever they wanted to. That box, the gear steering box is very big on it. The drag link, all that's very large on a
Yeah.
Class 8 truck.
Yeah, the other thing is parasitics are probably less of an issue on a big truck than they
Yeah.
are on a small car.
Right.
You get some small cars, some of them have 1-liter engines now, you know. You're
Yeah.
trying to drive a hydraulic system off that. The parasitics, on a percentage of output basis, are higher.
Now the two screens he was talking about, I'm looking at right now, and I can keep changing them.
Yeah,
But they, and then I can turn this one off and just have him, if he wanted to play with the navigational or with the radio.
So that's got the 4 corners. So the top left is a phone. So if you
Yeah.
hit the top left, it goes to the phone screen. The top right is navigation. So if you hit there,
Yeah.
it goes to nav, which is what it's on right now.
I see.
The bottom left is your entertainment, and the bottom right is your
Well, see, if I go like this, he can then go and decide what radio station he wants.
Yep.
Or I can go back up again to the phone, but we don't have a phone hooked up, or I can go back over to the nav.
Yep. And the phone, when you're moving,
Yes.
certain features are disabled.
Look at this
because
guy,
they
what the
require
hell?
a lot of customer
I hope he-
interface. And so those are disabled to keep you safe.
Yeah.
Well, that's logical. That makes sense. I like the two screens with the buttons left and right, and I like this system. GM is a system that I get so confused on there because you got to go from one side to the other side to change screens. RAM is actually pretty good, but this here looks even simpler.
This thing's going in and out the steering wheel, so
Oh, I love telescoping wheel.
yeah. And so this,
You can tilt it.
I got that now.
Yeah.
I can go telescopic. I mean, I can go up or down too.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So yeah, you're the complainer about this.
Yeah, it's
You probably also have adjustable pedals.
Yeah, it does.
yeah.
Well, that short Dawn needs them.
Yeah, Dawn, you get in a vehicle. She's always very nice about it, though. She always puts the seat back for you
Yeah.
because she knows. But
I ran into her in Detroit, and we were talking about it, and she told me she was the engineer or one of them for it, you know.
well, she's our vehicle engineering manager.
Yeah, that's
for
what she
this
said.
program.
I said, you boss around all these guys?
Yes, she does.
I said, they're gonna duct tape you
Yeah.
and put you in a box and ship you off. You're so small.
No, never. She's also vehicle engineering manager for Ford of Mexico, so she sort of has
Oh,
two
that's
jobs,
why she could
really.
speak Spanish with the Mexicans.
Yeah, I know a little bit of Spanish, but not as much as she spends a lot of time. She actually her office. She has multiple offices, but the one that she spends most of her time at is actually in Mexico.
Really?
Where,
Wow.
Mexico City?
Mexico's Cuauhtémoc. Yeah.
I don't know where Guatemala is.
So where are these made in Mexico?
No, they're made in Kentucky.
Okay.
In actually, it's the same plant as the Super Duty.
Yes.
Well, why would she be in Mexico? What's the purpose of having the chief in Mexico?
She also has responsibility for all vehicle engineering in Mexico. A lot of the engineering on this product took place in Mexico.
Wow.
Really?
I do vehicle dynamics development. Our work was done in North America, but a lot of the other work was done actually in Mexico. We sell these, in South
Well,
American
yeah,
countries.
this would be a presidential limousine in Mexico.
Oh, it would be. Yeah, a lot of the Spanish guys or Mexico City, they said they'll never sell a Super Duty down there. But in other areas far away, or they said they'll sell them in Guadalajara. They said, but they can't. There's no way you could sell those large trucks in Mexico City. They said.
Well, what was that Lincoln F-150 called? The Mark?
Mark LT.
Yeah, there was that one and something else that couldn't hardly sell here, and it sold really well in Mexico.
Huh.
The F-150s are sold in a variety of South American countries. In some markets, the F-150 is called the Lobo,
Yeah.
but the Mark LT is definitely sold there.
I'm impressed, but I still wouldn't want to sit back there.
Have you tried?
No, he said it's amazing that it is good.
I mean, the third row is actually adult. I mean, it's not my expertise, but it's adult accommodations for sure. I mean, I've sat back there, and
You're pretty tall. Were you 6'1"?
6'1", yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've got a lot of these at work, and when we're in Arizona, we'll go places together with the team, and the whole truck vehicle dynamics team. I'm actually short compared to a couple of them, and they'll sit in the back no problem.
Well, they gotta do that. Dawn has to sit in the front.
Well, yeah, I'm surprised that Don's in there because usually Ford, they have this saying about tall, skinny guys. That's what they hire, tall, skinny guys.
I don't know if that's written down anywhere. Not so sure.
Well, yeah.
You know, it's funny. The Corvette team, almost everybody that's on the Corvette design team and engineering is left-handed. And the guy in charge said to me, "Yeah, they're all smarter." He said my whole team's left-handed.
It's
Yeah.
funny.
Well, I remember when these came out. Was it 2007?
1996 was it?
Okay, I'm in the wrong decade.
96 or
Well, it would have
97?
been a 97 model year. That's what I was trying to think of when that was. That's, yeah, because when they first came out, they were quite the deal. And then, they had some great leases that first year. We sold a lot of Expeditions. This would have been a 97 model year.
Yeah, my
Maybe there
dad
was a
had
7
one.
in there. Yeah.
He had a black one. It was $300 a month or something, and he leased it. And
Yeah,
he liked
they
it
were-
so much, he wanted to actually buy that one, but turned out it was a better deal to just factory order another one to replace it. So that's what he did. So he had a 97, and then he had a 2000.
Yeah, they were incredible lease deals because you know how it is on leases. On a new model like that, they're guessing the residual value, and they always guess high. which makes your payments low. So that's always, if you are going to lease, a good time to do it is when it's a brand new model.
Yeah.